start.
Well, good afternoon, members of council, members of management, guests in our council chambers. Mr. Shave, thanks for being here. I'd also like to welcome members of the general public that may be zooming in from maybe all parts of this wonderful planet via electronic media. Welcome to our public meeting of council today, August 18, 2022. This time, item number one, I would ask a member of council to move that we adopt the agenda as circulated.
So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, second.
Second.
Second, Councilor Myra White, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. I just want to say we do have two councilors that's not with us today. Councilor Tracy Boland, who's traveling to Niagara with their daughter, who is representing Stephenville, Newfoundland, in the Canada Games. We wish you all the best there. And also Councillor Lenny Tiller, who's taking place with a municipal conference, waste management in Grand Falls. But we do have a forum here to conduct business, and we'll move along. Item number two, approval of minutes. We had a public meeting of council. Our previous one was July 28, 2022. I would ask council that we approve those minutes as circulated by the town clerk.
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Laura Aylward, second.
I'll second.
Second, Councilor Tristan Newland, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. We had a special meeting of council July 29, 2022, a town manager step increment change from TS 28 step 3 to TS 28 step 5. I would ask the council to move that special meeting of minutes be adopted.
I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, second.
Second.
Second, Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Are there any matters arising from any of the minutes? Nope, as there are no matters arising, I'll move on to item number 4. I don't believe there are any proclamations or delegations today, Jennifer. Thank you. Okay, item number 5, I'm going to turn it to our Chair of Finance, Councilor Myra White, for 5.1, the Finance Committee report.
Hi, welcome everyone. Good afternoon. Item number 1 is our property tax. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that property tax write-off in the amount of $320.21 be approved. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, second.
Second.
Second by Councilor Laura Aylward, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 2, water and sewer tax. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that water and sewer tax adjustments in the amount of $342.07 be approved. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, second.
Second.
Second, Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 3, remission of tax. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that remission of tax in the amount of $1,575.65 and refunds of $1,309.76 be approved. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, second.
Second.
Second, Councilor Laura Aylward, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 4, business tax. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that business tax adjustments in the amount of $830.82 and refunds of $207.86 be approved. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, second. Second, Councilor Tristan Newland, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 5, our accounts payable listing for July 2022. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the accounts payable listing for July 2022 totaling $215,748.58 be approved. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, second. Second, Councilor Laura Aylward, all in favor? Motion carried.
Item number 6, expense check listing for July 2022. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the expense check listing for July 2022 totaling $348,068.77 be approved. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, second.
Second.
Second, Deputy Mayor Susan Powell, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item number 7 is the request for donation for from the Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital Auxiliary. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the town of Stephenville donate $500 to the Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital Auxiliary's 50th anniversary dinner. I so move.
Before I call for the second, I would probably ask Councilor.
No, I'm not on that committee.
Oh, you're not on the committee? Oh, okay, wonderful.
No, but I would like to, all the same, say that it's 50 years for these women that
Yes.
were, and some of them been there like from day one. And Mrs. Trixie Hines was one of them. And of course, she's in
Yeah.
home, as you know, she's 107. And I think it's gonna be, you know, a
Beautiful dinner.
great event for these
Absolutely.
women. And
Yeah.
I appreciated what they do,
Look
Yeah.
forward to it.
yeah.
So we do have a motion. I would ask for a seconder.
I'll second.
Second, Councilor Tristan Yulin, all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, 50th anniversary is a milestone.
It is.
Absolutely.
I wish I turned 50 soon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You're dreaming again.
62, you mean?
Maybe the second time.
Yeah.
Add 2 more. Was more than 2, that's 12.
Item number 8, the Royal Canadian Legion administrative fee for Western Health Incentives Packages. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the town of Stephenville give a grant in the amount of $1,790 for administrative fees to the Royal Canadian Legion for Western Health Recruitment and Retention Program. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, second. Councilor Tristan Yulin. I'd just like to say once again, we've said it many times, but the Royal Canadian Legion has stepped up to assist us with our recruitment package by doing the administration. But they've been overwhelmed actually by the comments and the support that they receive back when they communicate in writing with nurses, nurse practitioners, doctors, GPs, specialists about this incentive package. And it's always a testimonial when we hear the positive results that it was the right move by council. And they're very aware. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 9 is the amendment Western Health Recruitment and Retention Program. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the town of Stephenville amend Western Health Recruitment Program retroactive to May 20th, 2022 to include the following changes. Item number 1, approved employment contract from Western Health and/or medical clinics is required. To be eligible for the benefits, the physicians is to practice in the town of Stephenville for a minimum of 2 years, full-time commitment of service. Item number 2, approval to prorate the compensation and benefits of commitment of service is between 18 months and 24 months. Benefits are prorated based on 2 years of service. All other conditions are applicable. Longer commitment of service is not applicable to be prorated. The maximum benefit payable will be 24 months. Item number 3, the vehicle lease purchase reimbursement, $800 a month. Due to inventory of local dealerships, the lease purchase vehicles outside of Stephenville shall be approved. Current lease owners will be eligible to be compensated for the remaining lease up to a maximum of 24 months. Council has the right to change these conditions once the local dealership inventory improves. And item number 4, recreational membership changed to 24 months. The Western Health Recruitment and Retention Program will form part of the minutes. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, second. Second, Councilor Tristan. I'd just like to speak, first of all, clearly communicated very nicely, Jennifer, so thanks for that. We have made a few amendments to this since we've started. Anytime we take on something new that we haven't done, it requires some amendments, and that shows our ability to customize and be able to make changes when it is needed. It was a big incentive, especially in attracting our GPs and our specialists. But what's great about this is that hopefully these big capital outlays will be only for this fiscal year. Because once our complement of physicians get up, and the goal is for the people that received our recruitment incentives, once they come in and fall in love with the town, that they stay here. And now will everybody stay here? No, but if we can get a high percentile stay in, it shows how important this was. But with all that's happening in Stephenville now, and the future for Stephenville that looks so good, I think attracting professionals is going to be much, much easier. So on that note, I'd like to commend council and management team, and thank you to the Royal Canadian Legion for this program, this incentive package. On that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 10, a request for proposal 2021-10, Stephenville Industrial Facility. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the town of Stephenville cancel the request for proposal 2021-10, Stephenville Industrial Building. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, second.
Second.
Second by Councillor Laura Aylward. Just question, under the Municipal Act, we are governed on descriptors and time bars associated with tenders and RFPs. And this expired and we have to do it. Now that should there be a need, we'll probably have to redo an RFP and start the process all over again. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 11 is a request for approval to ratify the collective agreement between the town of Stephenville and IAAFF Local 1852 for the period of January the 1st, 2022 to December 31st, 2026. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the Town Council approve to ratify the collective agreement between the town of Stephenville and IAFF Local 1852 for the period January 1st, 2022 to December 31st, 2026. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, second.
I'll second.
Second, Councillor Trish Newton. I'd just like to say that it's great that we actually had union relations that have come together to ratify and sign a collective agreement between not just our firefighter in this union, but we just previously completed the one with NAPE and our public work employees. It's great to see that we're moving forward. We have a couple of good collective agreements in place. Everybody's happy. And I'd like to thank common management for working with our legal team and our lawyers to complete that assignment. Thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 12, a request for grant, Regional Aquatic Center. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the town of Stephenville give an operational grant in the amount of $62,543.70. The Stephenville Aquatic Center. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, second.
Second.
Second, Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow. Any question?
Question, I just want to comment on this because in the event that people are questioning that amount of money, but we're in the process of working with the aquatic center now to take over, I guess, the operations and facility as we find ourselves in a situation where some of the neighboring communities within the regional commitment have withdrawn their financial support, Kippens being a kind of a pretty large support that disappeared. That was a financial contribution that left the aquatic center in a large deficit position. So at this point, we're you know, the amounts are looking fairly large and may need to look that way for another little bit of time as we work with them to try to figure out a process where they can make up the difference and stay viable, hopefully through some new programs and maybe even, you know, new opportunities for people. So I guess stay tuned, but patience is important as well as we work through that process. So that's why that big number is there, is to try to take care of expenses, payrolls, and so on.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 13, a request for grant for the Stephenville Dome. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the town of Stephenville get an operational grant in the amount of $39,460.44 to the Stephenville Dome. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councillor Laura Aylward. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 14, a request for grant for the Harmon Seaside Links. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the town of Stephenville give a grant in the amount of $32,000 to Harmon Seaside Links to renovate the washrooms in the building located at 200 Massachusetts Drive. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, second. Second, Councillor Christie, question?
Yeah, I'd like to comment on that because again, that amount seems fairly significant, but I sit on the committee that Councillor Tiller chairs around accessibility. And we went in and had a look at the space, and because we own that facility as a town and we've committed to trying to be as accessible as possible, it was really obvious that there was absolutely little to no accessibility to the washrooms in that particular
And which facility?
the
Golf
golf club.
The golf club.
The golf club, and they've done a lot of renovations and work in the main area that have improved accessibility, but the bathrooms were not. And so we agreed to provide some support to do that. Of course, the costs of construction and construction materials, as everybody knows, is through the roof. So that number seems high, but it's really very reasonable.
Well, the cost of supplies have gone up.
Yeah, through the roof, really. So I think, you know, I think that will bring us to a point where most of our facilities are adapted and as accessible as they can be for old facilities. And I think that's really incumbent on us as a community and as a council to ensure that everybody has access to all of our facilities. So.
I think it's important to note where you say it is actually owned by the town of Stephenville, but we've supported, for example, the Whaleback Ski Club,
Right.
their renovations. And now we have a more modern facility that's accessible, great for the community, great from the economics, because they all bring in people to our community, whether it's events and so forth or meets and so forth. But we've seen work done at the curling club. Now we're seeing work done at the golf course, and it's been a while since we've actually put grant money into the golf course.
Yes.
We did assist them with some marketing dollars, but if you're marketing and you get a group of people coming in and your washrooms are terrible and not accessible, it has a reflection on our community. So I think this is a good step forward, and it's money well spent. On that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Is there anything late for planning? Nothing, okay. Sort of, finance. Thank you very much, Councilor Myra White, for expediting that long list of financial requests.
Oh, I can take care of that.
Okay, I'm going to turn it to our Chair of Planning and Traffic, 5.2, Councilor Laura Aylward.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A few items on here, but pretty straightforward, as you can see. First item on planning today is 3234 Prince Rupert Drive, Platinum Auto Parts Limited. Request for a permit to install automotive lift in the building located at 3234 Prince Rupert Drive. It was the recommendation of the Planning and Traffic Committee that this request for a permit be approved, subject to compliance with all town regulations and approval of Service Newfoundland and Labrador. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Laura Aylward, second.
Second.
Second, Councilor White, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
2 Neptune Drive, REBEL Hardware. Request for a permit to pave section of driveway 71 by 28 feet on the lot located at 2 Neptune Drive. It was the recommendation of the Planning and Traffic Committee that the request for a permit be approved, subject to compliance with all town regulations. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Laura Aylward, second.
I'll second.
Second, Councilor Tristan Newland, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
219 Hanston Memorial Highway, M&F Motors Limited. Request for a permit to pave section of parking lot 20 by 60 feet as per sketch submitted on a property located at 219 Hanston Memorial Highway. It was the recommendation of the Planning and Traffic Committee that this request for a permit be approved, subject to compliance with all town regulations. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Laura Aylward, second.
Second.
Second, Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
19 Oregon Drive, Acadian Hotel Incorporated. Request for a permit to extend existing front door entrance, good, with wheelchair ramp, and replace existing canopy above entrance and repair sides to existing deck at the business located at 19 Oregon Drive. It was the recommendation of the Planning and Traffic Committee that this request be approved, subject to compliance with all town regulations and Service Newfoundland and Labrador. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Laura Aylward, second.
Second.
Second, Deputy Mayor, Councilor Myra White. Just want to say, the Acadian Hotel has gone through a change of ownership in the last while. The gentleman who actually left here and went away and just did very well, I guess, in BC in business and came back. And it's so nice to see now they're starting the outside cut. The inside, they put well over $1 million in renovation to the inside that facility. And it was an old facility, the former Air Base Hotel here
Yeah.
in Harmon. Had some big stars that rotated through that building, including Sinatra and others, but it's nice to see that they're starting on the outside. And we're starting to see a lot of businesses starting to upgrade their facilities on the outside. We're starting to see that pride start to happen. And we still got a ways to go. But one thing I'm thinking, Mr. Manager, that maybe we might do a communique out to the Chamber of Commerce and ask the chamber businesses to consider looking at doing maybe a little bit of cleaning and sprucing up over the next 4 or 5 days before we have the international visit of the Chancellor of Germany, Chancellor Olaf Scholz, and our Prime Minister Trudeau. So just ask them for consideration, a little coat of paint or trimming up the grass or doing a bit of weeding. It all helps, and Nicole at the Chamber of Commerce, I'm sure, can communicate that to the Chamber President and ask for their consideration. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Colebrook Road, Whaleback Ski Chalet. Request for a permit to do interior renovations at the ski chalet located on Colebrook Road as per drawing attached. With recommendation of the Planning and Traffic Committee that this request for a permit be approved, subject to compliance with all town regulations and approval of Service Newfoundland Labrador. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Laura Aylward, second.
Second.
Second, Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Main Street New Beauty Spa. Request for permit to operate, to utilize space and install business decal, or decal. How do you pronounce that?
Decal.
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 Decal, yes.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Request for permit to utilize space and install business decal on windows in the building located at 2 Main Street to accommodate a beauty spa service. That's good. Another one. Ladies will be pleased. It was the recommendation of the Planning and Traffic Committee that the request for a permit be approved, subject to compliance with all town regulations and approval of Service Newfoundland Labrador. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Laura Aylward, second.
Second.
Second, Councillor Meyer-White, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
169187 Montana Drive, BNY Holdings Limited, request for a permit to repair damaged shingles on the building located at 169-187 Montana Drive. It was the recommendation of the Planning and Traffic Committee that this request for a permit be approved, subject to compliance with all town regulations. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Laura Aylward, second.
Second.
Second, Councillor Tristan Muehlman, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Kin Court, Thomas Amusements, request for a permit to operate the Thomas Amusements Midway located on Kin Court for the period August 22nd to August 29th, 2022. Was the recommendation of Planning and Traffic Committee that this request for a permit be granted, subject to location change and subject to compliance with all town regulations. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Laura Aylward, second.
Second.
Second, Deputy Mayor Stu Fowler. Just like to say, town manager and myself went down to take a look at that site the other day, and our Public Works is doing some cleaning in that area. But when I was there, I was reflecting back to, that was the tarmac used by Trans-Canada Airlines, former Air Canada, when the air base was here. That was the domestic terminal, and where the terminal now was the MATS, Military Air Transport Services Terminal for the U.S. Air Force Base. And after the U.S. Air Force Base moved, that terminal closed down, they moved into the military. But I was reflecting back when I was sitting there on the tarmac, thinking back to 1967, our centennial year, when Queen Elizabeth flew into Stephenville and met dignitaries of our town council. I think maybe Mayor Alec Gillis was the mayor at the time, from the archival photos that I've seen. So, you know, Stephenville's got a rich history of dignitaries that have come through here. We've had President Clinton, we've had President Eisenhower, we've had President Carter. President Carter made one poignant statement, and I love to say it. He flew in here one year in October, and he was doing the approach into runway 27. And in October, the lichens are flaming red coming onto wetland, coming into runway 27. And when he got off the flight, he said, you know, in my lifetime as president, I've received a lot of red carpets, but never like the one I received coming into Stephenville. That was a very poignant statement.
Wow.
Right? But
President Carter, is that?
President Carter.
Really?
So a lot of history.
Hmm.
We've had the King of Norway in through Stephenville, you know, and that's what I can remember. God knows who else, right? So anyways, on that note,
You've had Elvis.
Okay.
yeah, we had the king,
Mhm.
the
That's
king of
right.
kings.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, the land tract that I owned was signed off by King George. Most of the locals here, all their land holdings. A lot of people don't realize too that in this area, we have the highest percentile of private landowners in all of Newfoundland and Labrador.
See, I told you you'd write all that down.
You're gonna have to start.
Making some notes.
I've been telling you that from day one, you haven't done it, so. Not really.
He needs someone to follow him around.
She's got a few for me.
He needs someone to follow him around and record this stuff.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
And
So
I
the next one,
believe you were in conflict.
I'm in conflict on that one.
Yeah.
Now, I got a question for Jennifer on this one. So I'm in conflict for some of it, but there's a little piece that I wouldn't be, Igloo Road. But I'm comfortable with whatever decision you guys are gonna make, because it's all, you know what I mean? I'm even with the Igloo Road one.
Yeah, because it's all in one.
Is all in one. So I'm gonna step out, and Deputy Mayor, I'm gonna turn over the chair to you now.
Okay,
And you should take this in case they get a little rambunctious.
that's right. Put that
Break
right
them
here
down.
in case I need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I use that one more than
If
anybody.
if you hear bang, you're allowed to come back in.
There you go. That's a good way to think of it.
Okay.
Okay,
Deputy Mayor, that's the last item today.
okay,
I don't see where there's been any late items.
no, okay,
This item is a to approve to proceed with municipal plan and development regulation amendments for zones not connected to the municipal water and sewer. It was the recommendation of the Planning and Traffic Committee that the town of Stephenville approve to proceed with municipal plan and development regulations amendments to ease the prohibition,
Prohibition, yeah.
Prohibition, yeah.
yeah, against on-service development and the land use zones, country living residential, CLR, comprehensive development area residential, CDAR, and comprehensive development area community services, that's a big one, CDA-CS. These zones are located at Hillier Avenue and west of Igloo Road. Wait now, off Igloo Road. I so move.
Off Hillier Avenue, so.
Off Hillier
Are
Avenue.
located off.
And off Igloo Road.
Yeah.
West.
Not the road, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's moved by Councillor Laura Aylward. Do I have a seconder?
I second.
Second by Councillor Myra White. Any question or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Just stand up by the door.
That's it.
Now, we said step out, not go home.
I didn't say go to lunch.
That's right.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it for planning traffic.
It's getting older, you forgot why you went.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
That's like my eyes, Carl. I sometimes have to go with the magnifying glass, even though I got glasses.
Yeah.
My son said to me, Bob, he's here from Mississauga, what are you doing? Did the doctor tell you your eyes were that bad? I said, they say they're fine, right?
But you can't, but
It's sometimes it's more difficult than others.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's strange.
Yeah, I need all these lights as well, so.
Yeah, and the lighting becomes really critical, there's no doubt about it. Okay, I'm assuming we're,
He's on the way.
okay, good. And I take back what I just said about him, he's back. No.
The comments are not part of the minutes.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so is there anything late for planning, Councillor?
No, that's it.
Okay. Item number 6, bylaws and regulations, nothing there, correct?
Nope.
Okay. Any unfinished business?
In the minutes of our last meeting, Mr. Mayor, I was speaking on pit bull situation.
Yes.
So I just want to remind management and council that after this, okay, all 23rd is over, that we make the effort to call the other towns and see what they do, right?
Yeah.
So I'd like to mention, just to verify that will get done after all the hullabaloo is over.
Yeah.
Because it's still a situation that's not rectified, really.
It is definitely an active
Yeah.
file, and like we say, once this, the head of state visit is over, management will be able to get down to the files that
Yes.
they're working on, plus we're working on.
That's right, yes.
We hope we get a Christmas break before it's all over.
I hope so.
Dang.
Yeah,
I'm going away for Christmas.
Anyways, I got a couple of things there for new business. First of all, I just want to say one of our large municipal capital works projects, phase 2 of Pleasant Avenue is ongoing. And with that, sometimes because they have to disconnect the water, do temporary water, there's sometimes issues with the loss of water. It's held with the contractor. This project is overseen by municipal capital works and provincial government engineers. But we did run into a problem with the phase 1, that the gradient on the lines, was it water or sewer or both?
Sewer.
Just on the sewer wasn't the applicable grade. It's causing us a little bit of a delay. So that's being worked through engineers and so forth. So hopefully that project will be completed. The other one I want to say is Monday coming. Great news too for council is we are breaking ground in Blanchbrook Park for the start of our new $500,000 playground for our citizens.
Awesome.
And by the way, that's for seniors and children.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody can play.
And all, and all folks in between.
Or the seniors can take the kids there and sit down on the bench while the kids play.
Yeah, that's the way to be.
But that's going to be a great addition. That park has got so much potential because it's got 20 acres.
Yeah.
Of development. And we are so, like, I have a vision, and it's one of the files that, and we've talked about where should an interpretation center go when it comes to our fossil forest. Well, I know embedded north of Hanson Highway, west of Hanson Highway, there's some significant structures in the rock. But right in Blanchbrook Park, there are significant structures in the rock identifying the fossils. But having an interpretation center that would be of national park standard in Stephenville, in that playground, a highly utilized transiting area next to a salmon river with 300 million year old fossil forest petrified into the rock, got a lot of merit. So maybe we'll ask the Prime Minister when he comes in if he got some money for us or something.
Yeah,
You got, might as well ask.
Well, you
there's only two answers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a
just,
lot of potential there.
That's right.
if I could comment on
Yeah.
Blanchbrook Park too, there's certainly a tremendous number of people who enjoy the park. There's no doubt about it. And every now and again, we find that somebody does a little bit of damage to some of the pieces of infrastructure or structure in there. And we certainly don't want to tar everyone with the same brush or, you know, assume that it's one particular group, but we have had some discussions on how we can keep that better surveyed, I guess, and also in terms of, you know, trying to instill that kind of pride in every user of the park, young and old, to take care of it because we all own it. And
Yeah.
I notice as well that there are lots of people who are using it to swim and to cool off and those kinds of things, which is wonderful too, that it's available to us. But leaving, you know, articles of clothing behind down in the water or garbage down in the water and so on, makes it difficult for everyone because we're going to lose the use of that as a swimming area if we do things that damage that environment for salmon and so on. So just encourage everybody to continue to use it, but to use it with pride and to maybe speak up when you see somebody who's not using it as proudly. And I know that's not easy, it's difficult to do, but whether you report it to us or to the RCMP, if you see someone doing some damage, it would really help because we can keep that then in the shape it deserves to be in. So,
And you know, every little thing we can do to enhance the pristine and protect the environment. Because in the early days, you know, and Stephenville was a fairly new town, you know, the indigenous community was here and then the Acadians arrived and only a couple hundred years old, really. But that river was flanked with trees and fauna and river systems. The challenge for whether it's brown trout or the Atlantic salmon, and we're so fortunate to have a salmon river running through our town too, actually, Warm Brook and Branch Brook. That it's the river runs through it. There's they had a movie about you know, rivers like this. But when waters heat up, that's when the greatest impact for the mortality rate of trout and salmon happen. But when rivers have a foliage of trees and alders on their banks, the river stays cool. And so I do know that with Halapu and management, there's been some preliminary meetings and there's some plans about restabilizing the banks, ensuring that when we do our planning, that we be cognizant of our riparian zones, that we protect our ecosystems. It's just like protecting wetlands. We often see sometimes indiscriminate backfilling of wetlands. And some people forget the importance of that wetland. They are the Earth's own filter systems. And they play a critical role on our aquifers, our groundwaters, and they are very, very important. And I think as we roll down the road, a heightened level of staffing and expertise may have to exist on the environmental side, because we're going to become a model town. We're going to become a green town, and that's where we need to go. And it's just like Susan said, every little thing we do will have an impact. The other thing I want to clue up by saying that since our last meeting.
I'm not finished after you're finished, yeah?
Okay,
You want me to do
so
it
since,
first?
you go first. Yeah.
Okay. Well, number one, on the hospital issue, I found out this week that there will be no ultrasound procedures done in our hospital from the 15th of August till the end of September. Because I guess they got no technician to relieve. So anyway, I did put in a call to powers that be in Corner Brook yesterday, and I left a message. But anyway, that's one thing that we got to figure out. The other thing is the surgeon that's ready to come here from Labrador, Dr. Al Hattie.
Yeah, actually, he's from the Grenfell region, but he's in St. Anthony.
Oh, St. Anthony, right, yes. He's been interviewed by Dr. Rajley a week ago. I spoke to Dr. McCumsky. He talked to him and told him, yes, welcome him. He's ready to go, come on. That's a week ago that Rajley interviewed him. There's been no word. I spoke to the secretary yesterday, and I know her real well because she's related, cousin of mine. And she said Rajley's been doing a lot of work in the emergency room in Corner Brook. So sometimes he'll go in the afternoon and so on. So I don't know if he's so overworked that he can't answer his email.
He's seconded to there, or is he doing that in addition? Because, you know, he's still got a job.
No,
I think he's not a surgeon, so he must be doing an assist.
oh yeah, he's assisting because
Yeah.
he's in the emergency room. Because he's done work in the emergency rooms before. You know, that's one of his, I guess, areas that he works in. So he's been doing some work. And of course, they'll blame it on COVID that they had, you know what I mean? Because everything is blamed on COVID. So that's that one with Dr. Hal Addy. Now, we really need him here because as you did, you sent out that email yourself.
Yes.
To Rajley, and you mentioned that we were having this big event and we should have a surgeon here and an anesthesiologist here. We don't have either one of them here. Got no surgeon, no anesthesiologist. So Dr. Crowley left the end of July. He was the locum surgeon. And Dr. Abijuli, he's gone somewhere on some kind of leave. And Dr. Khan is still off after a year.
We're in a very, very
So I don't know,
dangerous situation here.
you know, what to do with the situation other than send off an email to the Minister of Health and Community Services and a copy to Premier Fury. That's the only other thing that I can see to do right now.
I think your recommendation is where we need to go. And just to reiterate, with the PMO and the Chancellor's visit, I do know that ensuring that you have a head of state visit for emergency preparedness and security measures. I put in a request to Dr. Rashley, to Daniel Shea at Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital. I CC'd Laura as our representative for the Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital. And I said that due to the head of state visit, that they must ensure that our emergency room department has the adequate services in the event for an emergency, should a medical emergency exist.
Okay.
What I'm so disappointed on is they never had the professionalism to even respond to me. So what I'd like, Councillor Hayward, because this is your domain, you know this healthcare. I think when we see a structure that doesn't have the professionalism even to respond, because maybe they don't want to, they maybe hope we're going to go away, that maybe you can take that message and go directly to the Minister of Health.
Yeah.
Mr. Osborne,
Yeah.
And right to the premier.
Yeah,
And maybe that can start from the top and head down to Western Health so they can get their acting gear.
Well, my plan this afternoon is to call the CEO acting,
Yeah.
Mr. House.
Yeah.
And tell her.
Yeah.
What's so far. I know that Daniel Shea's off for, she don't get back till the end of August. She's up in Niagara with the girls now. I knew she was up there because she's on Facebook all the time, but I sent an email to her secretary yesterday and I asked if she was aware of it, if Danielle was aware of the situation with the ultrasound procedures. And the secretary said, well, first I heard of it, she said. But she said, I'll let Danielle know when she comes back on the 29th. Well, I said to myself, that's not good enough.
No.
So I started here with Danielle Shea. And then I work my way up. And then I go into, and the next one is Michelle House, the CEO. And from there, whatever she tells me, I will take it then to the province because that's not that, they're starting to treat us like they did before.
Yeah.
As second-class citizens,
I
right?
appreciate your background and your leadership on this file
yes,
for
for
council.
sure.
And by taking that, we're very appreciative and the community is very appreciative. So
Yeah.
I want to thank you for that. In closing, the last thing I want to say is that who have ever thought this council and this community, this province is going to be receiving not just an international head of state visit, but an international head of state visit from the Chancellor of Germany, one of the G7 nations, and our own Prime Minister from Ottawa with several cabinet ministers, several CEOs from Germany coming in, several IT green tech companies from Atlantic Canada coming into Stephenville. We are poised and at the cusp of becoming one of the world's leaders in green hydrogen energy development, which is the fuel of the future. This project sanctioned, or I guess started by World Energy Group, and they've been at it for some time now with their research and their investment, has now created a catalyst that others are looking at us. But it is scaled up now as being possibly the largest single private investment in the history of Atlantic Canada. That's a big statement. But this is unprecedented. We're having the German Chancellor and the Prime Minister coming to Stephenville. Never has a Chancellor of Germany ever come to a small town in Canada. They may have gone to Ottawa or Toronto, but they're coming here for a reason. So there's a world energy crisis, war in Ukraine, the aggressiveness of Russia has now fractured the energy requirements of the world, in particular the EU and Germany. And here's a chance for Stephenville, Newfoundland. And I look up at our sign on the wall that says embraced by nature. I always knew we had great wind and we save a lot of money on electricity because we can dry our clothes on the line many days. I do it myself. But we have so many check boxes for this investment. Our international ports, our international airports, one of the best weather records. We're in Canada, a very safe country to invest in. But the biggest checkbox we got is a renewable perpetual resource called wind. It's not an oil well that runs out. It's not a gold mine that runs out. It's not an iron ore mine that runs out. It's continuous. And this is a fuel for the future. But that's the largest checkbox that we have. And because of that, we have a visit from the German Chancellor that they're going to sign an energy accord between two G7 nations, Canada and Germany, right here in Stephenville, Newfoundland. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. Anyways, I'll stay awake the next day after.
I want to sleep till the 21st.
So, I'm very proud of this council. We are pro-business, we are pro-development, we are pro-community. We got a balance. But the opportunities that are going to come forward with us, and remember, this is an industry that's green industry with zero emissions. It's not smokestacks.
Yeah.
So on that note,
Wait, no.
Looking forward to Tuesday,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be good times ahead, I'm sure.
Before you finish up or we adjourn, I want to mention town manager Colin's son Matthew and his team. The under 15, is it?
Under 15 Western.
They took the goal.
Really?
And he's the coach. Matthew's the coach.
Masters captain.
You're the coach. Oh, he's the captain, that's right.
No, I wasn't coach on that one, sorry, that was not the coach, I was just.
Yeah, so anyway, he's captain, that's what it is. I
Awesome.
saw it on, I saw it, and I'm trying to remember what I saw, but definitely saw where they took the gold. And they're like, he's 15, each turned 15, right?
Beautiful.
So they're all under, 15 and under, right? So
Wow.
give your congratulations to that team on behalf of council,
Thank you
please.
very much.
Mayor and council.
It was a great thing. They were unbeaten. They beat St. John's Filians, 1-0.
Yep.
Unbeaten Western team.
Yeah.
5-6 from Pasadena and Deer Lake, 5-6 from Corner Brook, 4 from Stephenville, and 1 from Cape St. George. So that was
Yeah,
a fully Western team.
excellent.
Traded for what, 2.5 months, and we could beat St. John's. that had been traded for 10
Anytime you
years.
beat
Yeah.
St. John's is a good day.
It's like a double win, isn't it?
Oh, my God.
Sorry,
Council.
Mayor and Council, St. John's, in case you're listening.
Oh, yeah.
We got bragging rights here.
No apologies.
Yeah. So on that note, I would ask Council that we adjourn the meeting.
Moved.
Moved by Councilor Laura Elwood, second.
Second.
Second, Councilor Meyer White, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion adjourned. Thank you, management, staff.
Okay, once we're finished being live and that, I gotta ask a question.